everyone. Happy Friday evening. I hope you're all doing well. How's everybody been? How have things been over the past week? I hope you're all staying warm and staying away from that really cold weather that we have here in Toronto. If you are from Toronto as well, so I didn't go outside today. I'm not sure if anybody else did to have to go to work or if you had to go anywhere today, but I stayed home and I was looking at the temperature and it seemed like it's pretty cold out there today. So hopefully it gets a bit better next week, but I don't think so. So as we can see by the title today, we're going to be talking about constipation. We're going to talk about foods for constipation, what you should eat, what you should avoid, maybe some other tips I can talk about. So that's kind of what we're going to be chatting about today. And then of course just having a Q&A, and you can ask me whatever questions you want about health. If you want to ask me questions in regards to the gut and constipation stuff, you can ask me that. Anything else you really want to chat about, feel free to ask me today. So has anybody noticed if your digestion and your bowel movements have changed kind of over the past couple of years since the pandemic and everything has started? Have you noticed maybe you feel a little bit more sluggish? Do you have more difficulty, or maybe you're the opposite, maybe you're going more frequently? But let me know if you do experience any changes in your bowel habits, or even just the way your digestion feels. Maybe you're still going the same amount and you're still regular, or you're still the same as you were before, but maybe you're feeling a little bit different, a little bit like sluggish. So I just want to know if anybody's kind of felt that as well. It can be a common thing because we kind of had a change in routine, right? It could be common because we've had a change in our routine. So maybe you're not like getting up in the morning at I don't know, let's say 7 o'clock to get to work for 9 o'clock, and you're not having that certain breakfast or morning routine that maybe you were having, and then now you're finding that your digestion is a little bit off. Maybe you're not able to go to the washroom in the morning, or you're not able to go until later in the day. Or maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe it's better because you're working from home and maybe you feel like you're more relaxed at home and you're able to go to the washroom at home. So I don't know, let me know, has it changed at all? Like, have your bowel habits or your digestion habits changed? Do you feel like you're eating more fast food and takeout and maybe you do feel a little bit sluggish? So we'll talk a bit about that. Okay, so what's happening in the chat? Nancy is staying inside. Yeah, good call because it's cold. Hey, Carlos Matos, not Fat Albert. Okay, so Carlos has entered the chat. Andrew and John say hi. Since I started working from home, my food intake and digestion is different but not sluggish. Okay, so in what way is it different? Is it your food intake? Is it better? Is your digestion better, or is it kind of off? How is it different, Andrew? If I have to go out in the morning early, I usually can't go. Is it psychological? There could be a couple of reasons why. Maybe are you like having to kind of rush to do all your things, and maybe you don't have enough time. Maybe you're not giving yourself enough time to kind of settle and your food settle, and whatever your water or anything else that you've drank, maybe you're not able to let that settle, so you have a difficulty with going. Psychological, it could be maybe you're a little bit worried or stressed out what you have to do, so your body's not relaxed, right? So we have that like our nervous system, that parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic is that like fight or flight. So maybe your body's just like, oh my gosh, I gotta get ready to go to work or wherever you say you're going, and then you're not really focused on digesting, as opposed to being in your parasympathetic state, which is more of that rest digest. So maybe that's what's kind of happening with you. So I guess in a sense it could be slightly psychological from a mental perspective. or it could just be a change in your routine and you're not able to kind of relax and go to the washroom before going. I think that's common for some people. I think that's common for it to happen. Some people aren't able to maybe go in the morning before they have to go somewhere, and then maybe you don't get to go until they come home. Some people don't like going to the washroom even if they're in public as well, or if they're at work, and that happens, and then they don't want to go, and then they come home and then they go, and then there's an issue with that too, right? Because you're not able to go when you need to go. Kind of more constipated. So yeah, so that can also be due to lack of movement. So we're talking about foods today, but movement and physical activity and exercise is also important for your digestion and getting your bowels moving. So maybe if you are working from home, you're not like getting up frequently to go out to like other places around your work. Maybe before at work you were walking around more, maybe you were going I don't know, on a coffee break or walking around. So it could be that maybe you're kind of hanging around, sitting more, being more stationary. Maybe you're eating differently because you're at home. Are you like snacking more? So in our gut, we actually have this like, it's called like the migrating motor complex, which is important for moving things along the digestive tract. You should give yourself some time to digest your food. So you should wait like a few hours between your meals and give yourself some time to digest. Maybe with being out of your work routine, maybe you're having more snacks at home or something like that, and you're kind of having small little snacks throughout the day. Many things that can be causing it. Working from home should have been a thing years ago. Enter the metaverse. Oh no. Yes, we can talk about the metaverse. That is one whole other thing going on. Does anybody like know what's really happening with the metaverse, or are you familiar with it? Let me know what your thoughts on that are. But yeah. Okay, John says it hasn't affected me. Okay, that's good. Andrew says, more hungry at home. Digestion, I think, is more random because my body knows that at home. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, maybe you're more hungry at home because you know your snacks are around there. Like, or I don't know. Maybe you're more relaxed at home. I don't like, you know, as I was saying, when you're resting, your body's thinking of digesting, or as opposed to like maybe at work you were always more, I don't know, go, or there's more people around. Could be many things, yeah. I feel a lot of people need coffee to go, which is why a lot of people drink it and are dependent on it. Yes, great point. I think we've mentioned this before in like the coffee video when I was talking about is coffee good or bad for your gut. You really don't want to be dependent on coffee. Like if you are using coffee just to go and have a bowel movement, like it's not a good thing to do. You should be regular without it. So good point with that. I think a lot of people do feel like they need coffee to go. Yeah. What in coffee makes it act like a diuretic? So let me look. There is a compound in it that I know does the like make you have to have go to the water, like have a bowel movement. And I remember reading this because people were telling me even if they have decaf, they still feel like they have to go. So I know it's the caffeine, but it was something else. So let me see if I can find it. Coffee makes you... Caffeine. Oh, a really long, really long word. N-alkynyl 5-hydrotryptamides. So I think that's what it was. And some other acids in there too. So that's kind of what it is in there. That's why, in addition to the caffeine, that it is. Yeah. Okay, where did we go? when I have oatmeal, it helps me go right away nice. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about oatmeal in regards to our foods. Yes, good. I would eat more at work, says the time traveler, because people would unnecessarily stress me out, hence the weight loss. Oh, interesting. Okay. So some people maybe are more prone to stress eating, where there's some people that are stressed and they don't eat. I don't know. What about you? What I find that when I'm stressed, I eat too. There's some people that when they're stressed, they don't want to eat. I remember when I would like be studying and be stressed out, I would always want to have like a snack or something like that with me. So interesting point. So like maybe at work, you were stressed out and then you'd want to eat more. You can probably poop in the metaverse. Oh my gosh. Really? You think so? I'd rather talk about poop than the metaverse. Oh, okay. We don't have some metaverse fans here. Yeah, okay. So that's, I don't know. That's going to be a whole nother world. Who knows if you can go poop there or not. But maybe nobody's going to be able to poop. Okay, I want to show you something. I'm going to show you a diagram it's called the stool chart. So you can see what your stools are like, and I'm not going to ask you, you don't have to share it unless you want to share it, but just to see like where your stools fall in this chart. So are you constipated? Are you more on the diarrhea side, or are you more on the normal side? So just give me a moment. I'm going to pull this up. So this is called the Bristol stool chart, and it's a good way of knowing like what kind of stool consistency you have. So I'm going to share this. All right. So let's have a look at this. Okay, so as we can see, there's 7 different types. So type 1 is if you have like separate hard pieces, those little small pieces, you see them there? That is like severe constipation. So remember, these are going to be more hard and they're going to be more drier. Like if you have really difficulty pushing them out, that would be your type 1. Type 2 is it's together, but it's more lumpy and it's more like, again, a bit on the drier side. It won't be as soft. It's going to be difficult and harder to push out. So that's number 2. Type 3 is, they describe it as a sausage shape with cracks in the surface. So that's considered a normal one. So between type 2 and type 3 would be a bit more softer. It wouldn't be as dry and as hard, and like not as many lumps in the surface. Type 4 is smooth, soft, sausage or snake-like. That's also considered normal. So between type 3 and 4, those are normal ones. Type 4 is pretty soft and doesn't have as many ridges in it. Type 5 is blobs, soft blobs with clear cut edges. So you can see the edges on this one, but it's soft blobs. That one is like starting to go into diarrhea where you're lacking some fiber. And then type 6 and type 7 are diarrhea. So type 6 is really mushy. You don't have those cleared edges, and that's mild diarrhea. And then type 7 is liquid, and that's severe diarrhea. So these are the different types of stools. So it's a good way of knowing like what you fall within. Like, are you more on the constipated side? Are you normal? Or are you diarrhea? So it's very a good way to track and know your stool. So if anybody has any questions about any of that, let me know, and then if not, I'll take away the picture in a minute. So what we'll do is we'll go into talking about what are some foods that are helpful, what do you want to avoid. As already was mentioned in the chat, oatmeal is helpful, so we'll talk about those kind of foods. All right, so I'm going to take this out, but let me know if you have questions about that. So what's happening here in the chat? Okay, usually when I have caffeine as a supplement, it makes me have to go. Yeah, so that's because like the caffeine as part of the coffee will help you go. It's also the diuretic part as well. Stress makes me eat. I think that's common. Stress is common to cause people to want to eat a bit more. So yeah, not that fun. I feel like the metaverse isn't going to be a thing. Those VR headsets are nauseating. Oh yeah, I get like motion sickness easy. I've never used a VR set, but I probably would not be a fan of that. Cool concept, but not really practical. Yeah. Type 4 looks like a Japanese yam. Great. Yeah. Okay. Okay, what are some good fibers? Let's go. Let's talk about what are some good fibers. So everybody let me know, what do you think is a good fiber? So what is good for helping with your stool? So yes, fiber is very important. So some things that have fiber in it are going to be your fruits and your vegetables. So vegetables would be having your green leafy vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower. Those are good sources of fiber. And then also sweet potatoes, carrots, eggplant. Those are other those squashes and beets and turnips. All those root vegetables. All your vegetables are really good sources of fiber. So that will help regulate your bowel movements. Then getting into things like grains and seeds. We have oats, which we talked about. So when you're buying oats, actually buying steel cut oats is one of the better forms of oats. They have a lower glycemic index, so that basically just means they're not going to spike your blood sugar, as opposed to having the instant oats. So making it, and they have more fiber too, because they're not stripped as much of their fiber. So thinking about that, choosing steel cut oats if you can is a good option. And then in terms of seeds and seeds and nuts and stuff like that. So flax seed is really good for helping with regulating your bowel movements, giving you a good source of fiber, helping to detoxify your bowels through your intestine. So flaxseed's really nice. You can even add that into oatmeal. You can add that into smoothies. You can bake flax meal muffins. But with the flax, you want it to be grounded up. So if it's the whole flaxseed, it doesn't really work the same as it being grounded up. So you have to get ground flaxseed. And then a tip is to always store it in your fridge, because it can go, especially once you open the bag, it can oxidize and go bad if it's not refrigerated. So if they're ground, they should be in the fridge. So that's a tip about flax. Flax is really helpful. Does anybody have any other seeds or grains that they like having that help them go? So other things would be having chia seeds are another good one. Any sort of your nuts like almonds, walnuts have some fiber in them as well. So that's pretty much about fiber. And then also beans. That would be another category to have with that. So high fiber foods are helpful for helping you go, but you want to make sure you drink enough water, because if you're going to be having too much fiber, you want to be able to move it around, want to move things along the digestive tract. So having enough water would be very helpful for that as well. It helps keep you hydrated, keeps your bowels hydrated. You're going to have less of those hard, dry stools if you have more water in your diet. So that's very important. Fiber and water is great. What else do we want to talk about? Another one, and this is pretty common, people hear about this often, is prunes. So prunes can help if you have 3 prunes a day. That can help keeping you regular. So prunes is another one. And then one of my favorites is avocado. So avocado is very helpful for regulating your bowel movements and relieving constipation. And that's just because of its fiber content as well. The way that it's a healthy fat, it helps to lubricate and nourish things in the gut. So that's another good one as well, avocado. Do we have any avocado fans out there? You guys like avocado or not? I really like avocado. I think it's yummy. I like having avocado toast. Let me know. Okay, what else do we got? Pineapple and papaya. I've talked about these before. They have like good digestive enzymes in them, so they're really nice. Pineapple and papaya are also really helpful for helping with constipation and helping things move along. So that's a good one. And then we can talk about like other things. So like I talked about water. Another thing would be having tea. So dandelion root tea is a good one if you have like feel sluggish and difficulty digesting and have a like more feeling backed up. So that's a good one. Dandelion root tea is a nice one as well. Okay, let's see if there's any questions that we have. Why is this here? Okay. What are some good fibers? I answered that one. Okay, should you do anything if your poop is not normal? So I'm assuming you mean like not normal, like on the chart that I was showing. Yeah, you want it to be more of the normal. If it is too constipated, then that can mean like you're not eating enough healthy fats, you're not having fiber, you're not having enough water, and it could be straining. And then you don't want to have too much strain because then you're more likely to maybe get like a hemorrhoid or a tear, and then that can be painful as well. And then on the opposite side, if you're having diarrhea, again, it can also be lacking fiber. And then it can also maybe be there's some sort of underlying infection going on. Did you have like a food poisoning, something causing you to go too often? And then you're not going to be able to absorb your nutrients from all your food properly if you're going too frequently. And then it can also make you dehydrated. So definitely it's important. It's helpful to be within the normal range. So between type 1 and type 7, which one means you lack fiber? Can you put the chart back up? Oh, sorry. Yes, I can put the chart back up. It was the type 5. But also, if you're too constipated, you can be lacking fiber. So it didn't show that in the chart, but I'll show you. Yeah, so it's showing the type 5 as lacking fiber, which it is, but also if you're too constipated, you can be lacking fiber as well, which is a very common thing. So definitely either of those. Should you go every day? Yes, you should have a bowel movement every day. It's said like 1 to 3 a day is considered normal and okay, and I would agree. If you're having like 4 plus a day, it's probably too many. You're probably going to be having looser stools, and then that's not that good, as we were talking about. And then if you're going like once or twice a week, then you're not going enough, and you're not being able to digest things and release your bowels, and having a backed up digestive system is not good. So yeah, you definitely want to go every day. Ginger for motion sickness. Hashtag throwback to older episode. Yes. Thanks. Yeah. Ginger, yeah, is good for motion sickness. I know, but I don't know if that works. If I've tried that with like videos and video games and stuff, I'm not sure. Yeah. But good point. Flax plus oatmeal plus caffeine equals boom. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you'll probably run to the toilet if that happens. So that's another thing, is like you don't want to have like urgency to right? Like too much urgency to go is also not good. That means things are moving too fast. So maybe taking it back on one of those things that causes you to go often. Yes, prunes really help. Nice. Yeah, prunes are really helpful for that. Avocado toast, avocado. So we do have some avocado fans. Nice. Would you recommend doing a full body cleanse or detox? Any insight on colon hydrotherapy? Interesting questions. I don't really like these like cleanses or detoxes because your body already knows how to detox. You have your liver that does the majority of the detoxification. You have your kidneys that do the cleaning and urinating, that get rid of things that way. You have your lungs that detox is things, your skin when you sweat. So I would just say like supporting your body's natural detoxification pathways. So one great thing is exercise. It gets you sweating, it gets you breathing, and that helps with detoxifying. You can take some herbs to help with your liver. You can eat some good liver foods, so things like beets and bitter greens. Flax is another good one. That helps. A lemon is also a good one too, like lemon water. Helping your body that way is better than going on like a tea cleanse or a detox, like where you do juicing for like 30 days or something and that's it. Like, I don't really agree with that. I think supporting your body's own natural detoxification systems is the best thing to do. And then colon hydrotherapy, I'm not too familiar with this, but again, I think that your body can be able to detoxify itself and clean itself out. So yeah, maybe if you have any, if you've had any experience or heard about that, anyone that's done that, you can let us know. But or if anybody else, let us know. Okay, I'm gonna take down the chart. I think we're good with that. Okay. So I was talking about, like the last thing I was mentioning was the fruits, so like papaya and pineapple are really nice to help with that. So you really want to focus on getting like good sources of fiber, having some fruits and vegetables, and then those other things like prunes can be helpful as well. Flax seeds, as we were talking about, those are also very helpful. What did I want to talk about next? Let's talk about like what foods that you should avoid. So this can be different for everybody in terms of foods that you want to avoid. But one thing that can, cause some constipation is dairy, or if you have, like specifically if you have a lactose intolerance. So dairy can cause constipation, and you can notice this like after you eat dairy, notice how you feel. Wait a few days and see how you feel if things have passed, and then like have it again and notice if it happens again. So dairy is one thing that can cause it, and then also too much like animal products, too much red meat, too much refined products. So pretty much like the big common like inflammatory things like too much red meat or too many refined and processed foods that can cause constipation, so you want to avoid those. And then of course there's like other things like stress or not sleeping enough, or if you're not moving enough, all those things can cause it as well. So those are some things you want to look out for. Anybody have any questions in regards to the foods? If they're like, if you want to ask me about a certain food, if there's like another, if there's a certain meal or something that you're curious about, let me know. But that's pretty much what I would say for like the constipation part for the foods. The ones you want to eat, fiber, fruits, vegetables are great. And then the ones you want to avoid are things like too much red meat, too many processed things, and dairy. It's a big one. Okay. Does regular exercise help you go poop? When is the best time to exercise to poop more? Yes, so regular exercise can definitely help with going poo and having proper bowel movements. As I was mentioning, you're able to move your body around, you get things flowing, you get your blood flow flowing, you focus on your breathing, which is all very helpful. So that is a good way to help regulate your bowel movements. If you're sitting a lot, like if you sit majority of the day, things just kind of stay there. They just get stagnant. So moving around is very helpful too. And then you said best time to exercise. I think it depends on the person. I'd say the best time would be like the best time that you can fit in your schedule, that you can do a good exercise without feeling stressed out or something. If you find that you have the time in the morning, that can kind of help set the tone for the day. But then some people find if they work out, then they're not able to have a bowel movement after. So maybe for them, like working out in the afternoon would be better, or working out in the evening, and then maybe that helps you go in the morning. I think it depends on the person, and in regards to like what your day looks like. So I don't think there's a specific time that's the best, but I think you have to see like what works for you and when do you feel best. Because like I was saying, maybe you work out, you get to like much of an adrenaline rush, and then you're not really able to go and then go to the bathroom after. So I think it depends on the person. Great live stream, thank you. I thought with dairy that it makes you have to go if you're lactose intolerant. See, like that's a common thing that it can make you go if you're lactose intolerant, but one of the symptoms of lactose intolerant is also constipation. So it depends on the person. There's a lot of people that get constipated from having dairy. Like they get constipated, they get backed up, they can't go, then they start just like feeling bloated and not feeling well. Then it can also cause things like acid reflux and stuff like that. So it depends. But yes, definitely you can have to go to the washroom if you're lactose intolerant, but constipation is a common symptom. Good recap. Thank you. Great session this week. Great. Thank you so much. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any other questions about anything else. And I hope you found it helpful and maybe some new insight. But yeah, let me know about that. And let me know, what are your plans for this weekend? What's everybody doing? What are you getting up to? Here in, in Toronto or Ontario now, things are starting to open on the 31st. So that's some good news for some of us. Like I'm sure people are looking forward to going out and doing some things, like the gyms will be opening, which is nice. So there's that to look forward to. But yeah, let me know, what's everyone getting up to this week? You watching any movies? Are you going for a walk? Are you going to read a new book? Whatever you're going to do, let me know. You're gonna pray for the youth dem. Okay. That sounds good. That sounds like something fun. Yeah, I think, I work on Saturdays, so I will be going to work tomorrow, but then other than that, just going to kind of relax, take it easy around the house. Not too much really going on. Go grocery shopping, fun stuff. Yeah, maybe go for a hike if you don't freeze to death. Definitely, like going for a hike is nice. What's Sark? What? I don't know what that is. And read Ozark. Oh, Ozark. Nice. Okay, cool. We're gonna watch some Ozark. Very quiet. My life will not change. Okay, so regardless of things opening up soon, your life is not going to change. Gotta fix your diet. Nice. Well, if you need any diet tips, let me know, or you can always ask me again next week. But what I would say for your diet, when you're having your meals, I don't know if I talked about this before, but like the plate method, when you're having your meals, you want to make sure you're getting enough protein, fiber, and fats in your diet. So if you have your plate, you should have like a quarter of your plate should be your protein. So that could be like chicken, fish, tofu, whatever you like. Another quarter of your plate will be your carbohydrate. So focusing on things that are like complex carbohydrate. So that's basically like brown rice over white rice, or having some like sweet potatoes and some squash, or quinoa, beans and buckwheat, those kind of things. That gives you good fiber. And then the whole other half of your plate should be vegetables. So it could be a mix of like, maybe you do some salad and some, I don't know, zucchini or something like that. And then a healthy fat as well. Healthy fats are things like we talked about: avocado, nuts and seeds, fish, yogurt, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you remember this. Okay, good. So that's how you kind of want to focus on fixing up your diet and your nutrition. If you balance your plate that way, you're going to make sure that you get everything that you need, and it's going to keep you full and you'll feel much better, rather than like maybe just having a bowl of pasta and then like a little bit of veggies on the side kind of thing. No meat, which is what I had this week, so that wasn't the greatest thing. Like, sometimes if you don't have anything in the house, you gotta just go with what you have, which is okay, and it's fine. But for majority of the meals, try to plan them that way. What are your thoughts on the ice cream diet? Oh my gosh, what is that? You just eat ice cream all the time? I don't think it's the greatest, but yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think we should have ice cream all the time. Ice cream here and there is okay to have, but not all the time. Yeah, good one. Gonna create a petition for Billy Miner pies to be sold at grocery stores. Nice, yeah. That's too bad that they're not. Those are pretty good. You just gotta go to the keg and say it's your birthday so you can get it for free. Yeah. Let me know if anybody has any questions about diet or anything else going on that you wanted to ask me. It sounds like we all kind of have relaxing weekend plans, so just enjoy your weekend. Take some time to unwind. Remember to eat your fiber and check your bowel movements to see how they're doing. And yeah, I'll let you ask any questions for the next minute or so. Yep. I really do like having oatmeal with like flax and hemp hearts and some berries, protein powder. Adding the protein powder in the oatmeal helps as well. So that's a good way to help with getting some, all those nutrients in that we were talking about. What is next week's topic? I haven't thought of one yet. If you have a suggestion, you can let us know. But I know something general. If something happens in the world, we'll talk about that. If there's anything, things have been pretty the same right now. There's not really anything new to talk about. I heard about like the 5G and the airplanes going all wonky, but let me know if there's something you want to talk about, and we can talk about it next week. You have a suggestion? Okay, you can say your suggestion. See what your suggestion is. But yeah, we'll kind of, something that's sort of relevant to everybody. I can talk a little bit more. We talked briefly about detoxing and cleansing. We can talk about that more if you want to know more about that. But yeah, let me know your suggestions, and we'll see what we come up with for next week. Okay, time traveler, what is your suggestion? You're gonna travel through time? Creating a healthy but economic diet to substitute ramen. Okay. We can talk about that. with like giving cheap alternatives and stuff, sure, yeah, we can. What, like college student diet, yeah, like the college student diet, like what students in college should eat when they don't have much money and they don't have many things to cook with. Yeah, we can kind of talk about that. You could read 2022 health trends and try to see which ones are valid. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, I can do that. Those are both good ideas. Maybe we can do them in the next couple of weeks. I can do how to eat healthy on a budget, and health trends, and which ones are true and which ones are like just sound like baloney. So sounds good. Thanks for your tips and your input. I'm gonna wrap this up. So thanks everybody for all your comments and engaging in the chat and being part of this wonderful community. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and share the channel with anybody that you think would be, interested in joining us and talking about this. Also, tips to save on food, like Flip app and buying discounted stuff that's going to expire. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can talk about tips to save on food. Those are great ideas. Thank you for all your ideas. That was very helpful. I hope you all enjoyed this chat, and we'll talk next week. Have a good weekend. Stay safe and warm, and maybe you can try something new and then let me know next week what you did this weekend. Okay, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.